From 1982 to 2000, the S&P 500 experienced a consistent upward growth with no major declines in the markets. As they crossed the threshold of the new millennium, the baby boomers were a decade away from waltzing into the comforts of retirement as the wealthiest generation in American history. This chart represents almost 18 years in the S&P 500 index from August of 1982 through March of 2000. 93% of the index total performance up to that point occurred during this period, which averaged a little over 16% a year. From that period of time, you didn't have to be an investment professional to be successful. You just had to ride the market as it trended up. The bases were loaded for the baby boomers to exit the final inning of their careers with what looked like a game they couldn't lose. Little did they know, however, that the new millennium had a curveball up its sleeve that the baby boomers hadn't faced before. After its peak in 2000, the market was rocked with two of the greatest declines ever. Look at the red zones where the market tumbled a minus 49% and a minus 56% drop. Adjusted for inflation, the S&P 500 exited the first decade of the new millennium with more than a 10% loss. After the peak of the stock market in early 2000, many investors were riding a roller coaster without a harness. Now look at the green zones. Notice that they show over 100% increase after each drop. All that was lost was regained, right? Not so fast. Though the stock market has seen all-time highs lately, the money lost in the turbulence since 2000 has not returned to investors' pockets like you may expect. The S&P 500 is still less than where it was in the late 1990s when adjusting for inflation. So why is it so hard to regain your money after experiencing periods of loss? Small losses like the dips experienced between 82 and 2000 are regained more easily. A 10% loss can be regained with an 11% gain. But the more you lose, the more you have to gain to get back to even. If you lose half of $10,000, what percent gain does it take to get back to even? A 50% gain only gets you back to $7,500. It takes a staggering 100% gain to recoup a 50% loss. Notice how the scale to regain losses increases the more you lose. These are the kind of losses investors have endured since 2000 that ravaged earnings, derailed retirement funds, and stole countless dreams. When considering how difficult it's been for the baby boomers to regain their losses since 2000, you should also factor inflation into the equation. After all those ups and downs, after being up over 184% since 2009, the S&P 500 index is only 26% ahead of where it was at the 2000 peak without dividends. The positive returns after each of those drops barely made up the difference. Adjusted for inflation, is still 9.3% lower. Inflation, like time, waits for no one, baby boomers included. Ready or not, 76 million baby boomers are now crossing into retirement age together. Regardless of how predictable their needs were at every other stage of their life, the rules of retirement for the baby boomers and all future generations don't resemble those of their parents. Imagine for a moment that you had a set of helpful strategies most of the baby boomers have never been exposed to before. They fit the circumstances of these times perfectly. Now imagine that no one else but you could offer what you have. What would the outcome be for you? The lost decade has helped create an era of confusion for individual investors. At the same time, it's helped create one of the greatest eras of opportunity for those who can help show them the way. I hope the pieces are coming together for you now, and the full picture of the greatest economic story of our time, as it relates to your future, is beginning to emerge.